You recording? I think we're recording. Yes. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Jill here from Jill Ortiz Fitness, and I welcome you tonight to our webinar on conquering weight loss, 5 overlooked pitfalls for women over 40 and how to achieve long-lasting success. So I'm really excited that you're here tonight, and I want this to be an interactive experience for you. I think that when you're interactive, you're really paying attention, you're going back and forth with me in the chat. If you're on live, then you're going to be able to gain much more valuable knowledge that will then lead to this confidence that we get when we know what we're doing. It'll boost your energy. It will help you find this joy in the journey that maybe you don't have now, or that you're starting to find if you have been with me for a little bit. We have to figure out now how to move the slides. Okay, so let's see that I didn't miss anything. So you are in the right place here. If you have been struggling with weight loss, it may be that it's been a lifetime of struggle, or that you've found recently that it's gotten harder as you age, perhaps in your 40s or beyond, as you're starting to see the hormonal changes coming into play, that you've been stuck in a plateau and you're frustrated because you've been doing what seems to be all the right things, but it just has you in this yo-yo, in this cycle. And maybe all of the fads that everybody else seems to be doing and it's working for them is not working for you. And you're starting to lose some motivation because it's just so hard to see anything through, and you just keep seeming to give up a little bit. All right. So what we're going to be doing is we are going to be talking about these 5 big things that, once you figure them out, you're going to find so much more comfort. You're going to have this, belief in what you're doing, where maybe right now it's a little bit scary. You're unsure. You're not sure if you're doing the right things. And we're going to be talking a lot about the difference. I've been saying this a lot lately. There is a big difference between being healthy and losing weight. They're not always correlated. So I really, really want to teach you everything that I know. This is something that I've always been open. I'm an open book. My friends, my family, they all know. I don't like to hold anything back. I want you to learn what you need to do and how to get the body you want, how to get the energy back. I want you to see that change, the results immediately, so that you can feel motivated, so that you have belief in what you're doing and want to stay on track. And then I want to make sure you have all the tools so that you can be that person that's like, I get this. This is not as hard as I thought it was going to be, because I'm really confident that I know what to do. And so we don't want to keep taking those steps back. We want to keep on going forward. Okay. So here's the deal. There's really nothing wrong with you. I've said this before. I've said this before too. Is there something wrong with me? Because nothing is working. And what I found is that in talking to many women and having many calls, is that they're really just lacking a few things. This really solid strategy that they know is going to work, that has worked for other women, that has worked for women like themselves, a healthy mindset about the process, not having expectations that everything's going to happen all at once, not having expectations that all of the results are going to be something that's shown on the scale, and to be able to see this through for as long as it takes, because it's not about arriving at the destination. It's really about the journey and enjoying it and knowing that there may not be an end to this destination. You may never feel that you're at your perfect self, but that you always feel that you're making forward motion and feeling confident and happy that you're doing the right things along the way. Um, and we want to make sure that, your beliefs, your actions are in alignment with the goals that you want to achieve. That's how we're going to get there. So tonight, I really want you to pay close attention. I want you to take notes. I want you to write down action items. There's going to be interaction, as I said, on here. And I want you to be interactive with me. So let me know in the chat if you are here and where you're tuning in from so that we can start to learn a little about each other. I am here in South Florida. So you could go ahead and pop in the chat where you're at if you can find the little chat um, on your screen and let me know where you're at. And I want to know, let's see, I think, yep, there we go. Laura's in Florida too. We got Teresa in Central Wisconsin. Let's see, Stephanie outside of Nashville. We're covering the whole US. Kristen's in South Carolina. This is awesome. You know, it's really neat to be able to bring people from all areas, from all walks of life together and to find that common bond. We find that a lot in my communities and getting just this amazing common bond. I want to make sure you stay till the end as well. I don't want to be up so late either. We were just chatting with my son about high school selections next year. In South Florida, it's crazy. We have a lot of choices and we call them choice programs, and you can really get college credit, full rides when you're in high school. So I want to get back to talking to him. So I'm going to try not to take too long tonight either. Jessica's in New York, so we have a northerner too. I moved down from New York 2 years ago. So stay to the end because I'm going to be doing a live giveaway. We'll do a raffle at the end for those who are still here. So I'm going to have you tell me that you're still here when we finish up, when we get to that. And I'll be giving away a 4-week coaching opportunity for you to do a fitness program and to have a nutrition training. That will be a lifetime program that you can rely on to help you get to your goals forever. So that'll be a really great bonus for somebody who's here to the end. Okay, so this, I think, so I want to know what you identify with in this list of things, right? So tell me what things are the identifiers for you. Your time and energy have become so valuable, and it seems like you're hardly in control of either. You're lacking energy, you're lacking time, you're trying to manage everything. It's getting overwhelming. Maybe you used to have energy and all of a sudden it seems like everything just zaps all of your energy and you'd love to go take a nap in the middle of the day. I took a 2-hour nap yesterday, but I also didn't have much sleep this weekend. I was at my college reunion acting like I was in college. You hate giving up the things you love, right? Chocolate, wine, restaurant, date nights, but you worry that if you don't give it all up, that you're just going to feel fat forever and that you're never going to be able to get anywhere. You hate the way most of your clothing fits and feel that you're probably never going to fit in those clothes again since you're not getting any younger. Do any of these things, are they things that you identify with? If so, which ones? Because I'll tell you, Laura says all of them. Yeah, Teresa says her clothing, you know. Kristen also says all of them. I'm never giving up chocolate. I've figured out how to incorporate it about 4 times a day and still be losing weight. I don't like giving anything up. And I feel like so many of us have reverted back to this, teenage rebellion where like, I want to do what I want to do, you know? So yeah, it's not a great feeling when you can't fit into your clothes. I do not want to ever buy bigger clothes ever. How about this one? You can pretty much get through the daylight hours on coffee, diet drinks, salads, lean protein, minimal carbs, but when nighttime comes, you become a ravenous she-beast who could probably throw back an entire box of Girl Scout cookies, the Thin Mints in the freezer. I know we keep a big, like a big container of chocolate chips in our fridge. We've got ice cream for the kids. I mean, I could eat everything at night if I'm depriving myself throughout the day. Do you feel that way too? Do you guys have a kryptonite? Is there anything that you just can't resist at night when you've just been so good all day, or it could even be, Monday through Friday, Monday through Thursday, you're doing great. And then all of a sudden, Friday, it kind of just goes out the window and you just kind of feel like you deserve it because you've done so well. Does that sound familiar? Let me know. The truth is, I've been in your shoes. I've felt it too. I still feel it from time to time. So I want to get into a little bit about me so you know that I've been there. I still struggle from time to time as well. So my name is Jill Ortiz. So hello, I think most of you know me. I am a NASM certified personal trainer, a nutrition and menopausal metabolism coach. This is not my first career. This is about the last 10 years. Prior to that, I was a VP of finance and accounting, and I was working my way up the corporate ladder. I was working in New York City, commuting 2 hours each way, and I was getting bogged down with the corporate life. I was unhappy. I had had a massive back injury. I had had 2 kids after that, and I struggled a lot in my body. Right now, I still have 2 boys. They're 11 and 13. We've got 3 dogs, including a 6-month-old puppy. I love to golf. I love to be outside. I love to weight lift. Although, I said I wasn't a cardio fan, but that was like maybe a month ago when I started writing this. Now I've become a cardio fan because I like to get on my bike and watch my shows. So I'll watch The Golden Bachelorette. I'll watch the new season of The Lincoln Lawyer. If I get into something, I could stay on that bike forever. We talked about that in one of our groups today and yesterday is all the shows that we love to watch. Um, and so I much prefer the freedom of entrepreneurship to working for somebody else. I don't like being told what to do. That's why I'm the coach. I'm a world traveler. I studied abroad in high school in Chile. I studied abroad in China when I was in college. And I'm very driven. I'm very much a self-starter. Like I said, when I have a goal, I want to achieve it. I want to beeline it to that goal. And then I want to help others do the same because I've just, through my experiences working in New York City for a, scary boss, I just really have learned to step up and level up. And I know that not everybody has that confidence. And I think that's why I've become a leader and a coach, is because I love to infuse that confidence in others who need it and really help them grow into their own confidence as well. So I struggled a lot. I struggled my whole life, from childhood up through my college years. I struggled with belly bloat and constipation. My stomach was always in knots. I was not allowed to eat dairy as a child. I had to take a lot of medications, and it really, really impacted my life, my comfort. Feeling bloated all the time, even as a child, is very uncomfortable. I was very uncomfortable with my body after I had my big accident. I was on a ladder, about 12 feet up, and the ladder fell. I have a permanent spinal injury from that. My pregnancies really kind of put me in a tailspin as well after that. And I had a really hard time getting my body back. And I would cry. I would cry in my closet when I was getting dressed. And I would take out a lot of my anger about my body towards my husband. Have you guys ever done that? Taken out your own anger about yourself on other people? It's really not a good thing. Blaming other people because of your discomfort can ruin relationships, and it can cause a lot of discomfort with the people that you love. And so I really struggled, and I knew that I needed to fix my self-image and get in a better place for me so that I could be a better person for the people who are most important in my life. I think that, and my husband says this a lot, that I'm kind of the compass of the family, and maybe you feel this way too, that when I'm not in a good mood, nobody gets to be in a good mood. And when I'm having fun, everybody else tends to have fun as well. So it's very important that you start to look for finding that hope, that you learn how to find what's going on and how to reverse it so that you can find your confidence and your happiness again. For me, like I said here, I thought the only solution that was going to work for me was liposuction, and it didn't. Made everything worse. And what I really needed, let's read this. I made a lot of mistakes. I wasted a lot of time, money, and effort before I learned. What did I learn? There we go. You'll never get to the best version of yourself without taking action to change your approach, being properly informed of how to achieve your desired results, and without guidance, motivation, and support. So after I had made the mistake of paying about $5,000 for liposuction, I then met a coach and she taught me a brand new approach that I didn't know about back before I sought plastic surgery and thought that there was nothing that would work. I said that a lot. I've tried everything, nothing works. And she helped me. She informed me of what would work for me. And she gave me that guidance, motivation, and support. And that absolutely changed my life. It gave me hope, and I was able to fix all those things. And if you don't do those same things, changing your approach, finding somebody to guide you, to keep you consistent, hold you accountable, then I guarantee you're still going to struggle with the yo-yo dieting, gaining pounds back that you keep on trying to lose. You're going to run out of that motivation to work out and eat right. Then you end up back at square one. You're always going to be wondering, what's wrong with me? Why can't I do this? Why doesn't it work for me? And that brings you down that pity cycle. And once you're in that cycle, it's so hard to get out of it on your own. And so that's where we need to do something new. When you do commit, the most amazing things happen. You're going to see that the journey becomes easier. I've noticed this weekend at my college reunion, that making good choices had become so much easier, and my friends were still struggling. And of course, I don't like to push anything on my friends unless they ask me for help, but I could tell that they were on the struggle bus with their choices, and that I had really been through a lot of practice that really helped me to make good choices. And I never skip my workouts. When I was in our hotel, I woke up at like 5 a.m. and I was down in the gym for hours, and just so happy that I stuck to my routine. And it's my choice. I want to do that. Once you get in the groove, you'll want to do that. And things that are not in line, things, people, activities, they'll naturally fall away. And that makes your journey all that much easier too. Weight loss will just become way more effortless than it's been. So let's get into these pitfalls, okay? Everybody still with me? Lost my chat box. We're going to get into this. Let me know if you're still with me. Say yes. I want to see, Laura said the weekend sometimes. Yes. Okay, let me know that you're still here. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So pitfall number one is not having a strong enough connection to your why. Okay. So it's really important that we connect to why are we committing to this journey? Why is it important to us? And the commitment only comes when your desire to change outweighs your desire to stay the same. It's that breaking point where you say, I am done. I am not okay with staying the way I've been. And then you have to ask yourself, why? Why is this important, right? Why do I want to get on a diet and exercise? Because I want to lose weight. Well, why? Right? You have to start asking 3 levels deep. So I want you to start with your why. What do you want? You can drop them in the chat if you're comfortable. Why do you want to lose weight? Well, because it's really uncomfortable being not having my clothes fit, right? That my muffin top spills over my jeans and that's embarrassing, right? Well, why do you care? Because I'm dating, right? And I don't think anybody's gonna look at me and want to date me if they see that I'm uncomfortable with myself. And why is this important to you? Because I've been lacking connection for so long, and it's time for me to have a partner, right? Of course, this isn't me, but Teresa says for her self-esteem that menopause caught her off guard. And so the question is, why is self-esteem important, right? For Kristen, she's uncomfortable with herself and not happy. And so why is this going to change something? What changes? And that's where you have to say, maybe for Kristen, well, if I'm happier with myself, like I said earlier, then my kids are going to see a happier mom. My husband's going to have a happier wife. And the most important thing, why is that important? Because the most important thing to me in life are the relationships that I have, and that I'm contributing to the happiness of other people, right? I love that. Let's take a look. I've got to get back up here. I want to lose weight to add confidence, for my clothes to fit better, to feel good about how I feel. I want to grow older and look and feel my best. I want to date and feel confident. Better me makes me better in my whole life. I love that. That's amazing, Jessica. Menopause got everybody off guard. So I want you to write this stuff down, because if you and I are working together, this is going to be important, because there may come a time where you have to make decisions and where you have to decide if the choices you make today are worth it, if you're foregoing what you've just said is so important to you, because you're going to have to start making those decisions more consistently that are aligned with your why. And if it's so strong in your heart, and if you really focus on it, then it's going to be easier for you to say, I'm going to make this decision, right? So me walking around my reunion, I want to look good. I want to feel confident. These are people who mean a lot to me, who've known me for 20 years. I want them to look at me and say, look at her. She's looking great. She's better than she did in college, right? And so I know that if I have that extra beer, if I, have that extra food at the reunion dinner when they have all you can eat buffet, then I know I'm not going to be walking around with confidence the rest of the night. I'm going to feel bloated and I'm going to get tired, right? And so that's how you make those decisions, is staying connected to your why. Gina says, I want to feel and look good in my own skin. This is for me, not my children or my husband, just me. That's totally okay, right? You want to look hot, you want to feel confident, you want to just, rock it forever. So this is very important. So I want you to write this down. I want you to ask yourself why. Go 3 levels deep. Figure out what is at your core. What are the things that are truly important to you? Because that's going to drive this desire. And I want you to put it on a post-it note, put it on the, home screen of your phone, so that you can be reminded of why you're doing this. A lot of people will find a picture of themselves where they felt confident, maybe a picture of themselves where they were super, self-conscious, what you want to be, what you don't want to be. You can have that picture of your best self, that time when you felt the best, and have that up and see that daily. That can be your reminder. Make a poster, make a dream board, connect to your why, and make it deep. Because just saying, I just want to lose weight, that's not really strong enough when you got a thing of Thin Mints, the nice cold freezer ones. Okay. So I want you to think about that. And I want you to try to catch yourself too. Each time you see an opportunity to have more, to have things that maybe aren't going to help you to skip your workouts, I want you to say, what's my why? And make that connection. We got it? These are some great answers you had. Okay. Pitfall number 2, and this is one I think I said earlier, is relying on the scale only for validation in your journey. Do you know how many times I've had ladies who were doing all the work, and instead of celebrating that they did all of their workouts, that they ate so well, they would come to me and say, well, I'm disappointed. I only lost 1 pound this week. Or I did all this work and the scale didn't change. And I've had days myself that I woke up and I felt super confident. And then I hopped on the scale and that confidence dropped simply because of a silly number on a silly machine that doesn't tell you the whole picture. You cannot let the scale mentally affect you because it never is going to tell the whole story. The only reason why you can hop on the scale is if it's not going to affect you emotionally and you're just gathering data, right? So, what are the true measures of success? Because I think a lot of us know that, who can tell me what weighs more than what? If you're working on strength training, what's going to happen? What are you going to lose and what are you going to gain? Right? You're going to lose fat and you're going to gain muscle. And which one is heavier? And which one is bulkier? The fat, right? The muscle's heavier than the fat. The muscle is smaller. The fat's bigger. If we gain muscle, Laura says, we are going to weigh more. And we may not weigh less. I'll tell you, when I was at, my thinnest, I was like 135. I'm like 155 now. And I am in such better shape and I'm smaller, right? And I was telling somebody earlier, one of my clients, I did an 80-day challenge once and I gained a pound and I looked phenomenal at the end. And if you saw my pictures earlier, I've got these side by sides where I was the one with the beer. It was like 150 pounds then. And I'm 155 now and I look way better now, right? And so the scale doesn't tell us about our success. So what do you ladies think that we could do to otherwise measure our success? I want to see what you say. Well, I take another sip of my Energize at 8:30 at night. Kristen says she has an unhealthy relationship with the scale. Toss it. It doesn't matter. You don't need it, right? So Laura says to take measurements. So I love measurements because before and afters, that's great. I love measurements because the measure of you losing fat is really measured by your waistline. So if you do 4 weeks of a program, right? And the scale goes up a few pounds, you've gained muscle, right? But your waist has gotten smaller, you've lost fat. And who wouldn't want to trade that fat for muscle? I'd rather be 2 pounds heavier and 3 sizes, 4 sizes smaller, right? And so we can use the tape measure sometimes, and I would just say, around your waist, maybe around your bust, maybe around your butt. But if I'm doing a measurement of my bicep, I don't know if it's supposed to get bigger or smaller, right? It's gonna be, I don't know. The muscle's getting bigger, the fat might be shrinking. That I don't know, but I know the waist. I know that if my waist is getting smaller, then I'm losing fat all around, right? Laura had said before and afters, right? So this is going to be, if you are talking, let's say I want to be on a bikini stage, right? And I hire a coach. That coach is going to have me take pictures every week. That's the only thing they're going to care about. They don't care what the scale says. They don't care what the, tape measure says. They only care about what it looks like. And I know for me personally, it's going to be what my clothes fit like. So if you have an outfit that you want to fit into, let's say there's a dress and it won't zip up in the back, and you do the work and you keep trying on that dress every week, and you start feeling that it's getting looser, and you're starting to get that zipper up a little higher, then you're going in the right direction, right? How high that zipper goes up, that's your measure. Let's see, Jess says, I used to be obsessed with the scale and now I barely use it. My test is how my clothes feel, and I do measurements and take pictures. Exactly, right? Because you're not gonna get that instant mental knockdown if you don't hop on the scale. I was obsessed with the scale in my age. It is how my clothes feel. Correct. Way better. Way better. Love it. Okay, so you need to start tracking in multiple ways, right? Because you got to know if what you're doing is leading to change in some way. So I want you to write down the different things, and if you need a measurements tracker, just get in touch with me. I've got some. Let's see, I've got one here. This is from my journey way back at the beginning of time, about 10 years ago. This was what I did. I created the measurements tracker. It's the same one that I use for all of my clients. And so I show you where you're supposed to measure. And what I like to do is have my clients do this at the beginning and the end of each of my fitness programs so we can see how we changed. So start choosing how you are going to document. And if you feel that that scale could knock you down just by hopping on it, just don't worry about it. It honestly, it's not just measuring your fat. It's measuring your bone. It's measuring how much water is in your body. It's really not a great measure of your success, right? Gina says we can give ourselves challenges, and if we complete that is an achievement, right? So that's another measure of success. I stopped reading halfway through. Whether we gain or lose pound, the challenge is completed, right? That was your task to complete. And so that's another thing. I remember there was when I did a program that had at least 90 workouts or more, you know, at the end, I didn't necessarily see a big transformation, but I said to myself, I just did 90 workouts. There's no way I didn't change, whether it's setting the foundation for consistency, right? I didn't stop, never stopped. Whether it is endurance that I built or strength, stamina, right? And sometimes you're not going to see the change immediately, but you're setting the foundation for success. And quite honestly, to be successful in the long term is way better than having an immediate short-term success that you can't sustain, right? And so no matter what, if you put in the work, you're winning. And we just sometimes have to tweak things to make sure that we're doing the right things. And sometimes it is a learning process of what is right for our bodies. Okay. So let's move on to pitfall number 3. And so that is for the ladies who are overemphasizing cardio versus strength training. Now, this may be something that you found when you were younger. If you needed to lose a few pounds, you just hopped on the treadmill a little bit more. And so that may have worked then, and it might work now for fat shedding, but it will not be your forever, approach to losing weight, because at this point, strength training is now has to be your number one. At this point in time, when we're 30 plus, we start losing muscle mass, which then leads to bone loss. And we start losing muscle mass at a rate of 3 to 8% per decade. And so as you start losing, it starts to compound and you're losing more and more of your muscle mass. And as you get older, when you hit 50, you're closer to that 8% per decade that you're losing. And if you're not doing anything to prevent that, then you're going to see your metabolism start to really slow. You're going to see your energy fall. You're going to see that you may be prone to more injury, that you're not as strong, that your stamina is lessened. I'm just going to make sure that everybody's muted here. And so we want a strong body. We want a toned body. You're going to notice that if you're not doing this strength training, that your body might become more mushy, right? And so you see these two ladies here. We've got our cardio prone lady who's constantly on the treadmill, just trying to burn more calories. And what she ends up doing is actually kind of cannibalizing her muscle. And so she's like, I keep doing more and more cardio and I keep gaining weight because she's probably number one, making herself hungrier. And number two, she is not able to build the muscle mass. She's not focused on the strength training and she's probably trying to starve herself, not eating enough. So she's actually losing that muscle mass by overdoing it with her cardio. Not only that, but that can create a lot of excess stress. And while when we're in our 20s and our 30s, our bodies can handle stress very well. Once we start to have these hormonal changes where we start to lose our estrogen and progesterone, we start to see that the excess stress, whether it's good or bad, is stress. And that can release more cortisol in our body, which creates that belly fat, that pocketed belly fat. And that's not what we want. So what we find is when we focus on our strength training, focus on the nutrition that is going to be matched with that strength training and not overdoing it, we can prevent that muscle mass loss. And we can actually be building that muscle mass that will make our metabolism that much stronger so that we're burning more calories at rest and that we're preserving our energy, not zapping it with overdoing the cardio. So I want you to tell me right now, if you look at your 7-day regimen, if you have one, and it's okay if you don't yet, we're going to take some action tonight. Then I want you to evaluate how much, and maybe tell me a little bit about how much cardio are you doing versus how much strength training are you doing? And if you're doing one of my programs, you can you can let me know if that's, if that's something that's new, if you've started to implement. So how many days are you doing cardio? How many days are you doing strength training? And how much time are you giving towards that? Because we really want to see more so that you're focused on the strength training and not necessarily overdoing the cardio. Or something really important to note is, do we have periods that we do more cardio because we're focused on fat shedding? And then do we have periods where we pull back on the cardio because we really want to be focused on the muscle building? It's very hard to be doing both of those things at the same time. Does anybody want to drop in the chat here? How many days are you doing cardio? How much cardio are you doing? Teresa's working on my 10-minute tone up daily, sometimes 2 of my 10-minute tone ups, and has been focused on committing to 20 to 30 minutes of cardio daily. That's fantastic. That's a really great balance. And what we can do then is we can do a little push and pull. And we can maybe at sometimes do more strength and less cardio. I know for me, I'm doing one of my lean lifters program, which tends to take a little bit longer, a very long leg day workout today. And so I did not have time for cardio, but I've taken on a challenge in December where I committed to doing 1,150 miles of cardio in 3 months, which means about 13 miles a day. And so I know I'll be pulling back on my strength training then. And it's just a phase, right? So it should be a fat shedding phase. And I'll have to adjust my nutrition appropriately for that so that I get to the goal that I'm looking for during that period. That's something, a technique that I use with my clients, is periodizing our training so that we're not always overdoing it with cardio or always overdoing it with strength. Sometimes we have to give our muscles rest. Jessica says, I do not do high intensity cardio, but I walk daily and is also doing my 10-minute tone up. So agreed, high intensity cardio was really great in your 20s and 30s. It's very good for fat burning. At this point, we're looking for low intensity, steady state cardio for fat burning. Laura says she does 20 minutes a day, strength in my program as well. I love how you guys are doing 20. We're going to do 30 come December. Kristen says she walks 2 miles a day with the dogs. One is training, so it's work. I love that, the doggy training. And she's doing the 10-minute strength training. So everybody's got the strength training in there. And I know many of you started this with me, and that is so great. And, we can build that up. 10, 20, 30, we can change it. We can have periods where we're working more on strength and really building. And in those times, you may not see the scale falling. You might see it rising, but you've got to know that this is part of the journey, right? And we can't always be fat shedding. Otherwise we end up as nothings. Teresa can't wait for doing 30-minute, 10-minute tone up. 30-minute, 10-minute tone up. Stephanie says 2 to 3 cardio, 3 to 4 strength. Love it. Absolutely love it. All right, let's move on. So we've got that one, pitfall number 3, and we ain't falling for it, right? Okay, let's get over here to pitfall number 4. This is the big one. This is one I've been emphasizing to people lately a lot, because I hear it a lot. I'm a healthy eater and I don't know why I can't lose weight. So it's assuming that eating healthy and being a healthy eater is going to equal weight loss. And this is something that I learned the hard way. Remember when I told you at the beginning that I had liposuction, because I thought I was doing everything right. And I thought there must have been something wrong with me. My cousin used to say it too. You eat so healthy. Like you must have, your metabolism must be broken. You must have a thyroid issue. Something must be wrong because you're so healthy. You're always working out. You're always eating right, and yet I couldn't lose any weight. And so, some people think that just if I eat healthy food all the time that I'm going to lose weight. And so there's the question of, calories in versus calories out. Are you eating more than and consuming too much food? So we have plenty of healthy foods that are very high in fat, right? This is something I was very much guilty of before I started my weight loss journey, is that I used to take a salad to work every day. And in that salad was nuts, and olives, and an entire avocado, and dressing, and seeds. And it's the same thing. I went to the salad bar with my family last night at a restaurant, and here I'm loading up these really healthy things. And I'm like, ooh, that's actually a lot of fat, right? Maybe I don't need all that, right? And so you can tend to pile on the healthy fats and not realize that at the end of the day, you've got more calories in than calories out. So are you aware that maybe sometimes, you're just off? And here's a thing I love to say. So you've got people, right, who will eat at what we call a deficit. So that means you're eating less calories than you're expending. So yeah. And so you're eating less calories, so you should be losing weight, right? So we tend to, when we eat in a deficit, we tend to eat maybe like we're saving ourselves 200 calories a day, right? So I'm under eating by 200 calories a day. And if I do that for 5 days, then I've saved myself 1,000 calories and maybe I can lose a half a pound in the week. Except that then on Friday night through Sunday, it is very easy to overeat at a nice restaurant out, having some drinks, snacks on football Sundays, and all of a sudden in the Saturday and Sunday, you've overeaten by 3,000 calories, right? Or 3,000 a day or 2,000 calories excess a day. Let's call it 4,000, right? Let's say you ate 2,000 extra calories on Saturday and Sunday like that. Super easy, right? Not even realizing. And so then you've overeaten by 4,000, but you saved 1,000 during the week and you end up at a surplus of 3,000 calories. And that's going to land you with a pound weight gain for the week. And so you've got to know what's going on, right? You also have to know that some people will say, I actually got this one today in my Q&A that I did. Somebody said, I'm eating healthy. I'm doing 20,000 steps a day. I'm working out 5 days a week. I fast and I can't lose a pound. Well, fasting is not going to help you at this stage in life because what happens when we don't eat for long periods of time is our blood sugar starts to tank. And what happens is then when we eat something, our blood sugar spikes and that releases cortisol. And so that's going to be, again, that hormone that says to your body, hang on to that belly fat. And so if you're not eating with that blood sugar regulation, even with the healthy foods, if you've eaten healthy foods, for the day, but you only ate, at 9 o'clock in the morning and then once at 6 o'clock at night, then you might still be screwing yourself over. And then you've got your metabolism, right? And so again, we want to have a healthy, what we call basal metabolism. So you could have somebody who's eating salads all the time. Maybe they're, not eating enough protein. Maybe they're not doing any strength training and their metabolism is still very weak, right? And then you've got somebody who's eating plenty of protein and they're doing their workouts and their muscles are strong and they're kind of like a furnace and they're just a calorie burning machine, right? And that person's metabolism is a lot stronger than the person who's not really doing all the things, but still eating salads all the time, right? And so you've got to create this basal metabolism, the baseline, your baseline metabolism's got to be booming. It's got to be healthy because that means that at rest, you're going to burn more calories than other people and that your body's going to know what to do with the food, right? Kristen says she knows she doesn't get enough protein. We can work on that. We just got to work on it. We got to map it out, right? The fasting will constantly get you been there. Many people upset it's not working anymore. And what happens is a lot of times when we do fads, the fasting, the keto, all these things, what happens is a lot of people will lose weight at first, but then the body's so smart that it catches up and it says, wait, this isn't right. This isn't how we're supposed to do this. The body will adjust. Well, if you continue to grow more muscle, if you continue to fuel your body and teach it that we got to eat lots of food, we got to eat lots of protein, we got to eat lots of things that are nutrient dense, your body gets smart on how to process that. So let's get your body smart about strength training and eating right, right? And finding that balance and understanding what that balance is. And that's something that I teach in many different ways, whether we want to track calories and know that, or if we don't, if we want to go by our intuition and how we feel and how long does a meal this big last me before my tummy starts rumbling and telling me it's time to eat more. So we can't just assume that eating healthy 5 out of the 7 days a week or that eating lots of handfuls of nuts, which can really quickly add up, or even sugar, fruit. We can overdo it at this stage in life with the fruit and store it as fat. And I know that that seems to go against everything that we're taught. Fruit is so healthy. Fruit has got so many nutrients. It has nutrients, it has fiber, it has all the great stuff, but it's got a lot of sugar. And if you're not careful, you're going to eat it and you're just going to store it as fat, right? So you have to be careful. You have to make decent choices and know how your body is going to react. And maybe different people are going to react differently, right? So action item, commit to learning about what creates weight loss and weight gain and for women in your stage of life. You have to commit to the learning process. And that's something that I love to teach. Obviously, I'm talking for a very long time. I love how Teresa says it's a realignment of what we did in our 20s, our 30s, our 40s. You have to keep on adjusting because if you refuse to adjust, then it's not going to work. Pitfall number 5. I had a call yesterday with an amazing lady, and she came back to me today. I said, "Hey, we ready to get started?" And she said, "No, I think I'm just gonna go it alone." And I'm like, "She's gonna be back in a few months, either in a worse place or stagnant." This is really hard when we go alone. And, I too found that I couldn't do it alone. I needed somebody to guide me and I needed accountability. And that's why I became a coach 2 weeks into my journey. I started looking around going, who needs help? Because I need people to hold myself accountable to. And I check into all my groups and all my ladies who are working on my stuff, and I show them too that I'm doing the work, show my children, I show everybody that I'm doing the work too. And I need you to hold me accountable just as much as you need me, because no matter how strong I am, I can't do it alone either. None of us are meant to do this alone. It's much more fun. It's more encouraging. I love this. I'm a strong person, but every once in a while, I'd love to have someone take my hand and lead me and let me know that everything is going to be all right. I think we all deserve that. And that's why I love to create these intimate settings for my clients. I love togetherness. I love unity. So we've often done in my challenges, I've created tank tops and we've worn bandanas. I've sent out the same color nail polish to everybody. It's a really great feeling to be part of something, that acceptance, that belonging, we call it, belonging and significance. It's something that children need. It's something that we all need in our lives. And we're so influenced by the people around us. This is a quote from Jim Rohn. Many people know this quote, that we are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. And I think at the beginning, when I said, that some things in our life start to fall away when we start to adapt and adopt a new lifestyle. And suddenly things and people and scenarios, situations, social groups, they just kind of tend to fall away when they're no longer really aligned with who we want to be. And we start to find ourselves in the company of people who level us up and who are great influences on us and people who we want to emulate and be like. And this is who I want to attract. And this is who I believe that I have attracted, are ladies who have the same feeling and want the same. And so if you say, thanks, Jill, but I'm going to go do it alone, I'm going to go do it on my own, then maybe you're not right for my community. Because I want my community to be people who say, yeah, give me one of those shirts. I want to look like everybody else. And I want to spend time together. And I want to, be around these amazing women who really lift me up and are really inspiring me. So obviously, when you're going it alone, you're going to waste a lot of time not knowing what you're doing, banging your head against the wall, spending a lot of money on things that aren't going to work, little band-aids. You may feel and start to really solidify your fears, your patterns, your belief systems. That's what happens when we keep doing the wrong things and getting the opposite result of what we want. And maybe you even give up and you gain more weight and you feel your clothes are getting tighter. You don't want to be in any pictures. And that's not a great feeling, especially if we've had a conversation and I've made it clear that if you do take action, or right action, that you could be to your goal. And I hate that. When I post somebody's transformation, for instance, my client Pilar, who lost over 40 pounds in the last 5 months. And if there's somebody who I spoke to 5 months ago and never hopped on board, and she sees Pilar just lost over 40 pounds, it's like, man, I did nothing. I got nowhere and I could have. And that's awful. That's an awful feeling, right? So what are the perks of having a coach? Big things we do is talk through your fears and struggles, get personal, right? We celebrate the wins, we hold you accountable, we show you the right things to do that are going to yield results, quick results, long lasting results. And my job is to be that lighthouse, that beacon of hope and faith that you are on the right path and that you will achieve your goals, and that no matter what, we will tweak and we will up level you and we will keep moving forward and not go backwards ever. And my promise is that I will give you tools forever that will give you long lasting results. Change the person who you are, right? Okay, so we're going to recap real quick. The 5 pitfalls: not having solid why, relying on the scale for validation, overemphasizing cardio versus strength training, assuming that healthy eating equals weight loss, and going it alone or not having a coach. Ladies, which one are you needing to work on the most, or which one was the most eye-opening for you, or something maybe new? I think a lot of us have heard some of these things before, but what do you think was new for you tonight, and something that maybe you're realizing you have to pay more attention to? Going it alone, Laura says, right? It's no fun. No fun to go it alone. Let me know what else you think. I'll tell you this, assuming eating healthy equals weight loss is something that was really an eye-opener for me just about 5 weeks ago. And I realized, because I'd also been going it alone. So I had started I would say it was 16-week journey. I wanted to lose about 20 pounds, and it might have been more like 25 pounds, 20 pounds. No, it was 25 pounds. So 165 was where I started, and I wanted to get down to 140. And for the first 6 weeks of me going it alone, doing all the stuff that I know, not having accountability, not having real accountability, not having a real why or a solid push, I got nowhere. I went up and down 1 pound forever for 6 weeks. And then I joined another coach's program with a really solid reason to push. There was a $20,000 prize at the end. And I pushed and I lost 9 pounds in 4 weeks. And that was because I stopped going it alone. I joined somebody's community where I met new people and I was participating. And I learned that even though I was eating healthy, I was not eating for weight loss. Very interesting, right? Teresa says I rocked it. I look good in my bikini. That was great. I only gained 3 pounds at my reunion this weekend. Stephanie says, I think the scale's holding me back and believe I'm eating healthy to achieve weight loss. Okay. Can't go it alone. Need to be held accountable. Eating healthy also, I learned from you. It took me a while to wrap my head around it. I was amazed at what I could actually eat and still maintain and lose. That's great. I love it. Okay, let's move on. Moving right along. Okay. We know what's going to happen if we do the wrong things. We're going to be miserable. There we go. We know what's going to happen if we do the right things. We're going to be energized, confident, strong. We're going to be supported. We're going to be amongst like-minded people. Have a coach, have somebody who cares. I don't know if you realize, but I really care about you all. You're going to see those ripple effects is the big picture. The improvements in your relationships, your mood, your attitude, happiness. Doors will open. It's crazy when you're confident about yourself, who you can attract and what you can attract in your life. So it's time for you to choose. What's your next step? Okay. I have an invitation for you, and I'm going to drop this link right now in the chat, and I'm going to tell you why you want to sign up ASAP. You want to be in the next 4 weeks. What I'd love for you to do is join my Fit and Fast program. And I'm going to go to the next slide in a second. It is $99. It is so cheap. You get to have it forever. You are going to have a 4-week transformative strength training fitness program, a fat blasting meal plan with, oh my gosh, Mexican, Italian, American, Greek, all the yummy flavors. You can have wine, you can have chocolate, and you are going to start shedding fat. You are going to build muscle, and the Fit and Fast program is only 20 minutes of strength training per day. So you give me 20 minutes of your day and I will give the tightness and the tone that you crave. Here we have our calendar. So again, the website, programs, www.programs.jillortizfitness.com/fit and fast forever. We are going to be doing Monday is chest and triceps, 20 minutes. Tuesday, back and biceps, 20 minutes. Wednesdays are leg days, 20 minutes. Thursday, shoulders, 20 minutes. And Friday is total body. I use Saturday and Sunday as stretch days, catch up days. If you can't do the Monday through Friday deal, then skip a day, catch up on Saturday and Sunday. If you need to double up, you go at your pace. You get to choose how you get these done. They're only 20 minutes a day. I encourage meal planning on Fridays. Lots of choices in my meal plan. I told you all the different nationalities, all the yummy foods. And I truly believe these are recipes that your entire family will love. So you don't have to spend much time. I built this program for women who don't have a ton of time, who really need something quick and simple so they can get in, out, and on with their day. So these are all the reasons why I'm offering you this. I really, really want to see your success. I really don't want you to feel frustration. I felt frustrated for so long. I want you to be efficient, effective. Like I said, in, out, done. This is not your entire life. I don't want you constantly worrying about food and drink and what you can eat, what you can't eat. I want you to feel confident, whether you're in your gym shorts or a dress, feel accomplished, that you've done something from start to finish. And I really, really, this is the most important thing. You have got to love the journey. You've got to love doing the things, eating the stuff, doing the workouts, because I want you to change. I want you to become the person who's more inclined to do the things than to skip the things. And I want you to feel empowered. I want you to feel so much confidence in this journey that you feel like you could be me. You could help other people. So this is for anybody who has plateaued, who needs something new, who doesn't want to be making excuses, women who are ready to start feeling energized, confident, and strong. We don't want women who are going to keep doing the same things that haven't been working. If you're not getting results, then you got to change it up. I don't want people who are going to give up. If you don't lose 10 pounds at the end of this 4 weeks, I don't want you doing it. I want you to know that no matter what happens, whether it's scale, whether it's clothing, whether you just get stronger or whether you are building consistency, I don't want you giving up. I want you to just feel that fortitude of, I'm doing amazing things and I'm going to keep going with it. And I don't need women who are just looking for keto and fasting and all that stuff. You gotta trust me that I know what I'm talking about. Okay. I wanted to share this, share this win that Alicia had shared with us. A lot has changed during this last month of the Fit and Fast. She said, I've changed my nutrition extensively. When I exercise, it was always cardio. Adding weights was really nice. My mental outlook is better. I can do this. It's going to take time to get where I'd like to be, but the journey of getting there is the most important part. Look, she sounds like me. I'm doing this for myself, which is something that I rarely do, and I'm focused to not give up. I like the fact that this past month, other women were working toward the same goal and that we were cheering each other on. This is a girl who has embraced all of these things that I've talked about tonight. And I didn't mention each of these things. These are things that she learned along the way and realized were important. We've got Gracie who says, my mindset changed. I changed. My body changed. The way I look at myself changed. I'm stronger and a lot more confident. I'm proud of myself for staying consistent. When I started this challenge, I couldn't do one regular push-up. This morning I did 5. That's one of those intangible. It is tangible. It's a tangible. It's not a scale victory. It's a strength victory. I lost pounds and inches, but gained so much more. I gained a lot of love and appreciation for myself, and my body is thanking me today. I am proud of me. I get these all the time. I've had hundreds of ladies do this program, the Fit and Fast. If you haven't done it before, I encourage you to do it. If you've done it before, then maybe ask me for another program, the next level program, or do it again. Do it for November. And if you have it, right? So these are some of the ladies that that have gone through the program, the smiles on their faces. It brings me true joy. So here's the perk of joining right now. And I will drop that. I got to find the chat again. Hard truth, I hunkered down. This really didn't happen overnight. It's not coming off overnight. Be kind to yourself. Love it. I'm going to drop the link again for you ladies. And so you can go to programs.jillortizfitness.com and /fit and fast forever. And you can go ahead because the first 5 ladies to join this, whether you're live or on the replay, if you're one of the first 5 to join, then you will get a free one-on-one coaching session from me where I am going to teach you a nutrition for life program, how to be an intuitive eater and have massive success, whether you're home, whether you're traveling, at any big meal, come Thanksgiving, come Christmas. This is going to be massive for you in this 4th quarter of the year. Talk about Halloween coming, whatever it is. And, you know, even if you're watching this after the new year, you're going to have Easter, you're going to have 4th of July, you're going to have birthdays, you have anniversaries. There's always something coming up. And for you to have this amazing opportunity to be one of the first 5 to join the Fit and Fast program for only $99. This nutrition coaching session is worth over $200 and you are getting it for free. Everybody who completes the program and submits their weights tracker. So what, if you don't know what that means, it's not your physical weight. It is the weights that you use. I don't know if I've got one. Probably have one here under my, yep, under my pile of papers. So this is a weights tracker. If you can see, it shows the exercises, the 4 weeks, and what size weights you used. And this is meant to help you progress. Then you will get a free private next steps coaching session with me where I'm going to strategize with you. What are we going to do next? So Laura asks, is this the November program I'm signed up for with the other program I'm in? Laura, I'm not sure if you've signed up for the Fit and Fast yet, but this would be if you don't have access to it yet, then this is the link. If you haven't purchased Fit and Fast in the past, this is going to be for you. I know that you're doing 10-minute tone up right now. This will be for you, the November challenge. And then come December, we'll be doing the 10-minute tone up after Thanksgiving. So this will be the perfect 4 weeks between, you know, from November 1st to the end of November. And then December 2nd is going to be the 10-minute tone up, the Holiday Express challenge. So that is going to be what you're going to want to do then. So, so what we want to do now is I am going to take everybody who's hung out here till the end of the webinar, and I'm going to take all of your names and I am going to put you in a raffle. I'm going to stop my share. And so I am going to add you all to a raffle. I cannot minimize the Zoom when I'm recording the meeting. All right, let's see. I'm going to figure this out. We're going to pull this up. I'm going to put your names in. And we are going to do a raffle and give away a free Fit and Fast. So that will be a $99 value plus the $200 value for the nutrition. You'll get the nutrition as well if you win. And then the first 5 to purchase the program will also get that free nutrition. Let me know if you've purchased in the chat. Okay, now we gotta find y'all again. I gotta take down all your names. We've got Gina, Jessica, Kristen, Laura, Stephanie, Teresa. Okay. Now I gotta remember everything I just said. I'm pretty good at names. names. I mean, I love you guys. I know you. I even know Stephanie spelled her name with an E. Let's go. Let's see. Gina, Jessica, Laura, Kristen, Gina, Jessica, Laura, Stephanie, Teresa, Kristen. Okay. All right. We're going to share my screen again, and we're going to do this thing. This is exciting, right? You guys love when I do raffles. So for those of you who are going to be in my December challenge, we'll learn more about that later. I do these raffles every single week. And I think it's because I get excited. I love doing this wheel of names. All right. So for those who stayed to the end of this, I appreciate you. I know it went long. I never really know how long it's going to go. So let's figure out who wins. And then the rest of you, if you have it, if you don't have it yet, then you can purchase the program if you like. Or if you need to, we can discuss other options. Of course, you know how to get in touch with me. So let's do it. All right, Stephanie, you are the winner. All right, so Stephanie has got the Fit and Fast program for life and a free nutrition coaching session with me. And the rest of you, if you would like to, you are welcome to hop in using this link, the programs.jillortizfitness.com/fit-and-fast-forever. If you don't want to, it's okay. You're not forced to. It's going to be a great next step for many of you who are doing the 10-minute tone up. And so if you have any questions, if anybody have any questions, let me head back to the chat here. Stephanie says, yay, thank you. You know what I love so much is that there's always so much love and support amongst my clients, and you get to know each other. You kind of get to know who's who. And it's a really, really special place to be. So thank you all so much for joining me tonight. I love seeing your beautiful faces, and I look forward to our journey together. Again, if you have any questions that you'd rather ask me offline, you're welcome to. Otherwise, I will be seeing you all soon, okay? Have a great night. Bye, ladies. You're welcome.